I am Nick Shell. I am the self-help hacker. This is fundamental. We need to address this. Classic question, age-old question. Why do bad things happen to good people? Classic question. And here is, I feel, the most honest, direct answer you're going to get. And that is, who says that you're a good person? The concept of being a good person is kind of silly when you think about it. Because what that means, and this goes back to my very first video in this series, episode 1 in Self-Help Hacker, tribalism. People are wired to be part of a tribe. And naturally, when it comes to morality, people typically, well, I'm a pretty good person. I've never murdered anyone. And what they'll do is they'll start putting themselves in a tribe, as if you've never murdered anyone, or if you've never been to prison, then that makes you a good person, or whatever it is. But I'm a good person. I'm a pretty good person. And then they'll disassociate themselves from the bad people. That's not how it actually works. We're not good or bad people based on what we perceive, or even necessarily what society perceives. Because ultimately, we could have someone who, let's say he did commit murder, and he spent a decade or 2 in prison. Well, when he comes out of prison, is he a good person now? He paid his dues. Well, I guess that depends. If he goes out and murders someone else, okay, I can give you that. Maybe he's not a good person yet. But what if he comes out of prison? He has such remorse for what he did. He spends the rest of his life serving and helping other people. He finds a way to help other people who just came out of prison, other people with addiction issues or violence issues, and he's serving other people his whole life doing that. Can he be redeemed? Can he at some point cross over to being a good person? Can someone be forgiven and be redeemed? So it's not as easy as we want it to be when we say, but I'm a good person. Because typically it's followed up with, because I've never, and then they'll list the thing that they ultimately think causes you to be labeled as a bad person. So ultimately, are there really good or bad people? I'm going to say it's all an illusion. It's an illusion to serve ourselves, to make us think that we're a good people, good person, we're a good people. Let's go ahead and go with that Freudian slip, that we are a good people, that we're a good group of human beings, as long as they're like us and they haven't done the bad things that those people have done, that we are a good people, I am a good person. It's tribalism. Because ultimately, what's the fundamental root behind this? Why do we want to see ourselves as a good person? Because, in theory, and I think we're borrowing from karma here, if I'm a good person, then I don't deserve bad things to happen to me. Because bad people do bad things, and bad things happen to those bad people. It doesn't work that way. You can be a good person. What does that mean again? And let's say that if a good person is defined by a person who helps other people and serves other people and loves other people, chooses other people's needs over themselves. If that's what defines a good person, guess what? You're still possibly going to experience some really bad things in life. You may get luck of the draw and nothing really bad happens to you and you live a pretty easy life. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. But the way of thinking, the error of thinking, when people say, why do bad things happen to good people? Well, the real question they're asking is, I deserve better than this. Or the person, the good person that the bad things happen to over there, if it's somebody else, they're a good person, they deserve better than this. They don't deserve bad things to happen to them. But other than this delusion of karma existing, where are we getting that logic from? That if you're a good person, then you don't deserve bad things to happen to you. You deserve good things to happen to you. So we have to bust that bubble. And then I think also we have to realize, and there are all kinds of bad things in the world that happen to bad people. And I hate that that's how the world is. I really do. But ultimately, personally speaking, I've been through bad things. And I sure didn't like it. But ultimately, I'm still alive and I'm still here. And I'm able to help other people that much more. I can relate to other people in helping people. I feel like so much of the meaning of life is helping other people based on our own experiences and what we've lived through and what we've survived. So while I don't want bad things to happen to anybody, even the bad people, I really don't. I think ultimately it's a matter of not asking why do bad things happen to good people, but especially we can survive those bad things. How can we help other people through that, through the trauma of that, through the psychology of that? How can we be a friend, or maybe even a complete stranger, but the person that connects to that person through that experience? Those things, as the saying goes, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And maybe on this topic, we are talking about someone dying, someone being diagnosed with some kind of health issue that is ultimately the end, is going to lead certainly to a nearer death than the rest of us would expect. My response to that is that's horrible and I hate that. That's one of the things about life and the universe that I don't like. Death, I hate death. I don't like it. I don't want to experience it. I don't want other people to experience it. I don't like that. But ultimately, we have to stop living in the delusion that if we're a good person, then bad things won't happen to us, that we basically earn good things. It doesn't work that way in this life. You can't earn good things in life the same way that maybe you can earn bad things. You break a law, that you go to prison or whatever, that's a little more cut and dry. But you can not break the law and serve others your whole life and still bad things happen to you, or maybe they won't. It's not up for us to be able to know that. Ultimately, all we can do is live our lives and try to help other people and live the best unselfish life we can live. But why do bad things happen to good people? It's because there's not really good people. That's a dangerous thought. Ultimately, it comes down to this. If I'm a good person, I deserve good things. Bad people over there, well, they deserve bad things, but not me, because I've never ... done whatever it is in that category, tribalism, that we're putting them in that box. Funny thought, what if we were actually the bad person? What if we're actually on somebody's list because of tribalism, because we're on the wrong side of the political line, or in the wrong religion, or the fact that we have religion, or don't have religion, whatever it is. Maybe they've put us in the box. Maybe they want bad things to happen to us, which, closing note, that almost needs to be its own video. Not wishing harm upon anyone, but instead redemption for everyone. Wouldn't that be what we want? When we have someone who is known for being very hurtful to other people, what would you rather have? To see them suffer, or to see them find redemption and become a good person that helps the people instead of hurt them? I think an emotionally intelligent person is going to say, I would rather see them redeemed, not cursed. I mean, granted, if they break the law and they have to pay their dues to society and all that by going through the prison system, okay. But ultimately, maybe they're not breaking the law. Maybe they just do things we don't like, and they have hurt us. Do we want bad things to happen to them? It's almost like a Twilight episode. All the good people, we get good things. Oh, but there's some bad people. I wish bad things upon them. Good thing I'm not a bad person. And I think that illustration is ultimately the best answer I can give you to why bad things happen to good people. Because who are the good people and who are the bad people? That's a social construct. We've created that concept to make ourselves feel safe. That's what it comes down to. We want the illusion of safety and comfort. So many of us thrive on feeling protected from bad things happening from us. So if we do the best we can to be a good person, then the bad things won't happen to us. And sometimes that will be the case. You'll at least save yourself from maybe making reckless decisions, for example, even if you don't break the law. But we live under the delusion that we can earn or create invincibility somehow if we're a good enough person. And the reality is, that's not how the world works. That's not how life works. It's not that simple. We want it to be. And I think that's a lot of our driving motivation to be what we think is a good moral person. And that is important, to be a good moral person. But we want so badly a promise of security of ourselves as far as being safe and healthy. That's a universal thing. We all want that. We all want to be loved and safe and secure and protected and looked out for. And then promise way down the road, if we're going to have to die, then maybe we can just die peacefully in our sleep when everything is resolved and then we're ready. Reality is, it's probably not going to happen that way. But we live in that delusion. So ultimately, it's a matter of unplugging from these false ideas and tuning into reality. And that is, bad things happen to all people, whether you perceive the person to be good or bad. Bad things happen to all people, and good things happen to all people too. And ultimately, I think when you can get to the point where you can say, even the bad people, even the people that are my perceived enemies, I don't want to see them suffer. I want to see them redeemed. I think when you can get to that point of mind, you'll probably stop asking the question why do bad things happen to good people. Because this clear-cut line between good and bad people starts to fade away. Your comments belong right here.